That's correct. And that's pretty obvious. You add up if you add up 143 per car, multiplied by 107,200, multiplied by 11 general contractors, each with a similar contract, and you're going to come up with a figure that exceeds 15 million. 15 million is the number of patriots in America, number of concerned people in America, and also a number of people that could cause the federal government harm in America today, right now. I'm saying our federal government blew up Oklahoma without question. Clearly proven. First of all, what did it? If you look in the pictures of the explosion, you'll find there is a large block taken out near the elevator shaft, and there's a smaller explosion. By the way, a nitrate explosive has a maximum capacity of 20 kips worth of pressure per square inch. A kip is kilotons of pressure, 1,000 tons. So 20,000 tons of pressure per square inch, maximum. If you had the whole truck totally packed. Wow. By the way, the federal building in Oklahoma City had some pretty strong girders in it. Girders and pillars and stuff like that. The average federal building, especially a new one like this one, has a tensile strength of 200,000 kips. The only thing that tear it apart like that is either a nuclear weapon or a thermite charge, shape charge explosive. Right now, the only thermite charge explosives in these United States are military operated, and they're housed at Mather Air Force Base in California, near Sacramento. Yes?
There were 2 explosions still, 8 seconds apart?
I wasn't really aware of that, but if there were 2 explosions, I would assume that one was either a reverberant explosion or it was an atmospheric explosion.
It's on the seismograph at the university. It wasn't an echo.
I'd have to look at it.
It's on the back of the sheet I just handed you.
Really?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. And this is the second explosion, is that correct?
Right, they're both on right together.
Mm-hmm. Well, the truck bomb shows an explosion, once again with no P wave, but it has a scalar wave to it. Could have been a scalar weapon, electromagnetic weapon of some sort. The train explosion, once again, also has it does have a P wave, but doesn't have an N wave. Therefore, it too must be a device.
No, that's the train that's going by the university.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
I heard the director being interviewed, and he said the same thing. There were 2 explosions, and they asked him if it could have been inside, and he said...
Well, this one here that says truck bomb.
No, that's not the bomb. That's a truck by the university.
No, this, okay. It says, truck and bomb. I see, okay. The 2 that are marked bomb, once again, have the configuration. It's called the squared sine wave configuration, or Crazy Ivan, as the Navy calls it. Squared sine wave with no P wave. It would have to be a mechanical device, without question. I could prove that, but it'd be kind of boring laying the figures out. Okay, another question? Yes, ma'am.
How do you respond to Christians who are apathetic about saying it's all prophesied in the Bible anyway, the New World Order, the mark of the beast, and, I want Jesus to come anyway, so, why fight it? How do you respond to that?
Prudence. What you know best to be. Pray about it. Prayer. That's the only prudence around worth saving. Next.
This lady here is
Okay.
Is it true, do you know, if anything about what God was going on?
It's quite a possibility because, for instance, the New World Order and the elite, as we call it, built and funded Hubble telescope. Remember also that telescope, the one that orbited Mars, was supposedly shut down. That was another lie, total lie. Took detailed photographs, totally mapped the planet. I've seen some of the photographs. The face on Mars is a reality. There, at one time there was a civilization. That's been proven. Computer enhancement photograph, and it was broken down by a supercomputer and proved it to be a intelligent made device rather than a hunk of rock with a funny shadow on it that NASA told us. Another lie. Once again, you have to remember it. These people cannot tell the truth. In days past, they were called the sons of Belial, the ones that could not tell the truth. We have to consider them our enemy. Next, this fellow. Yes, they do have bases on Mars.
Have you heard of that possibly these rays are part of the experiments which our government are doing under base of making the synthetic, all these creatures, but perhaps they're manufactured?
No, sir, I can tell you right now that's not so. They have a copper oxide for a blood, similar to an octopus, a cephalopod, or an insect, or a spider. Another thing is their chromosomal structure is totally different. Their cellular structure is totally different. No, sir, that's not true at all.
Are there any good aliens up there? Some people think that perhaps...
Probably so. There's supposedly a group from that I've heard from different sources, fairly accurate sources at that some of them came from the Pleiades, but right now they're supposedly having an all-out war with the Greys, and they had to leave us, and they left us anywhere from a couple of years ago to 4 years ago. I haven't really studied that in. I've been talking about other things lately, so...
Some people think they're here to rescue us if that whole thing blows up.
Don't count on it. Question?
Can you give out your internet address for that?
No, sir, I cannot do that. You'll have to go through the internet and do it yourself. That would be giving myself away to the beast, and I can't do that. Question?
Is it possible that this gentleman here in front here made a statement regarding the attitude of a lot of people who are Christians? Is it possible that you are taking a study called eschatology, end time phenomenon, prophesied by Daniel, prophesied by Isaiah, subject of all of the discourse, subject of the book of Revelation? It does talk about kind of things that are going to come to judgment on the earth for Israel, the Antichrist, and those who are believers. Is it possible? These things will probably come to truth, come to pass. But to use eschatology as a weapon of fear in order to get people to act is not what the scriptures talk about.
That's correct. That's correct. You can't do it that way.
The fact of the matter is that in Christ we have liberty from those kinds of things which are going to befall the earth, because there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ. So it says. But to try to say that we are people who are subject to this condemnation is not a full understanding of eschatology.
I would agree with your statement. There is one thing, though. I love America. I'm only one person. I'm only human. I can make mistakes. I'm not perfect. God is perfect, as much as I know. I will say one thing, though. Keep reading the Bible, and it'll just make your heart purer and purer. It'll also improve your prudence and improve your state of mind overall.
Would it be more profitable to get further into Christ and get further into ourselves?
And let the world and all the good people in this country go to waste? No, sir, I cannot believe that, nor will I possibly ascribe to that in any way, shape, or form. Christ did not put us on this earth to die in a holocaust of fear from characteristic evil entities or people. No, sir, I cannot believe with that particular statement. I love Christ, but unfortunately I cannot believe that I can allow my fellow countrymen to go by the wayside. And I think actually it's a form of disinformation and government propaganda to believe it. Next. Yeah. Okay.
The Idaho Constitution has a provision for the militia, all able-bodied men between 18 and 45 years old will serve in the militia. That's in the Idaho Constitution.
Okay, I agree with it. In fact, I would extend it from the years of 18 years old to maybe your age, 70 or 75. I'm willing to do it. I'm past the age of 45. Sorry, I don't believe in age limits. If I live to be 100, I'd like to do it. Yes, sir.
I'd like to give you a quotation from the Bible, right off. It is Luke 19:27, and it says, "Bring those my people who do not want me to rule over them before me and slay them." And I always ask the people, does that mean love them to death? But the preachers don't preach it. And there's other quotations like that.
Yes, I've read such quotations. If I'm wrong, I will stand slain by God. Stand convicted. Maybe I have already been convicted. Yes, sir.
Tell us where the prison is in Idaho.
Near Coeur d'Alene.
What was that question?
Would you state the question again?
Where is the federal prison that you're talking about in Idaho?
Well, there's several federal prisons. There's a new one being built near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I don't know. I've never been out there, but I heard it's on the east side of the town of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Whatever. Man with a red shirt way in the back there. I don't. And I haven't heard about such things, but I'm sure there might be such things. There are things that were used against the Afghan people. There were things that looked like innocuous toys, and there were high explosives that killed a lot of people. You can bet your bottom dollar that this is some form of a setup of American people's rights, without question. Yes, I believe that too. The U.S. Navy presently spends about 1/16 of the entire black budget allocated to them on psychological programming techniques through the RAND Corporation. Next question. This lady. Okay. I can only take one more question, so this lady.
The ones actually, were victims of the bombing who did it. I don't really want to know.
I personally don't know the name of the person who did it, but...
it takes the government and let them start getting this other side of it. And
Well, this is a difficult task, ma'am. The best thing that can be done, yes, I would say yes, that is true. We can get the word out. But it's better to get in groups of people and tell your friends the best that you know how to say and go from there. But other than that, yes, that would be the best thing. Right. Well, unfortunately, I'd like to say, yeah, go ahead, write everybody until the cows come home. But right now, as the way things are going, that might not be your best bet. You might be targeted as an extremist or something like that. Okay, last question. This is the last one.
Are you going to be speaking in this area again?
I'll be more than happy to speak to any area at any time. Thank you. May God bless each and every one of you and your families too.